Welcome to Easy Elim Learning Simplified. My name is Ruth, and today we are going to be looking at Form 1 chemistry. And our topic for the day will be water and hydrogen. And the subtopic we are going to be focusing on is the last bit of this topic. We are also going to look at some other properties of hydrogen gas and then conclude with the uses. Previously, we talked about the reducing property of hydrogen, and we were able to see how hydrogen is able to react with some metal oxides and how it reduces them. So the lesson, we are going first to react hydrogen in air. So we are actually going to collect the product of burning hydrogen in air, and then further we are going to discuss on some of the uses of hydrogen gas and look at a few questions in regards to what we will discuss today. So when it comes to burning hydrogen in air, so the first thing you notice in our setup is the production of hydrogen. So the first part of the setup, hydrogen gas is going to be produced. Like we said, we use a dilute acid, and the most suitable one is hydrochloric acid. Is going to react with a suitable metal, and we said the most suitable metal is zinc. So they are reacted, and then they are passed through a U-tube to dry, and the component that is used for drying is anhydrous calcium chloride. So when that hydrogen gas has been dried, it's burnt at the end of this jet, and then the product of burning the hydrogen are cooled on a cold water. So we collect the product, and the products form a colorless liquid. So this pure hydrogen should burn with a blue flame and should not have a pop sound. That's the reason why also we are passing it through the anhydrous calcium chloride to remove any water element or water component it might be having. So, and then the products which we said forms the colorless liquid are collected for about 15 minutes, and then these products are tested with a white anhydrous copper 2 sulfate and blue cobalt 2 chloride paper. So what are some of the observations we noted for this experiment? The first thing is that pure hydrogen burns with a blue flame. This is unlike the impure one which burns with a pop sound. And then when it's burnt with a blue flame, a colorless liquid is produced, which is condensed at the test tube containing the cold water. And this colorless liquid usually turns anhydrous copper 2 sulfate to blue. So it turns it from white to blue. And also, if you were to use anhydrous cobalt 2 chloride, it will turn it from blue to pink. So this confirms for us that we have produced water. So the calcium chloride in the U-tube is used to dry the gas, and the hydrogen gas burns to form liquid water. This is the water that turns the white anhydrous copper 2 sulfate to blue, and the anhydrous cobalt 2 chloride from blue to pink. So this is the observations and explanations for what we are formed from this reaction. If we look at the equation for the reaction at the jet, we discussed this before when we were discussing the reducing property of hydrogen. So the hydrogen will react with oxygen to form water, which is in gaseous state, that is cooled down to form water liquid. So this goes to the uses of hydrogen, or what are some of the applications of hydrogen, which will finally conclude for us this topic. So hydrogen is used in the manufacture of ammonia in Haber process. This process will be discussed further in Form 3. And then also hydrogen is used in the hardening of oils. The hardening of oils, that process is referred to as hydrogenation. This also will be discussed further in our Form 3 topic. And then hydrogen is also used in weather balloons because it's lighter than air. Although initially it used to be used and they realized that it's very explosive, so they stopped using it because of that explosivity. Hydrogen also is used to produce a hot flame that is used for welding and cutting metals. This is the same use that is mentioned in the uses of oxygen. So it produces a very hot flame that is called oxyhydrogen, which is a mixture of oxygen and hydrogen. We said that oxygen and hydrogen burns with a pop sound. It burns explosively, so it produces a very hot flame. This flame is the one that is used for welding. And then also it is used to propel rockets because you can see hydrogen reacts explosively with oxygen. So they usually use this property as well to propel the rockets. And then also it is used in the manufacture of hydrochloric acid. So when we look at in Form 3, when we are discussing some of the properties of chlorine, we will say hydrogen chloride can be made in the industries where hydrogen and chlorine is burnt and then the product is dissolved. So we will discuss it further later when we come to those properties in Form 3 work. So let's look at one question in regards to what we have been discussing. And these questions are the ones that are going to conclude the topic for us. When hydrogen is burnt, the product cooled, the following results were obtained as shown in the diagram beside this diagram. So we have hydrogen that is being heated here, and then you see this is ice cold water which helps to cool down the product, and the product is known as liquid Y. The first question is write the equation for formation of liquid Y. So basically you are being asked to write the equation for the burning of hydrogen in oxygen. So it's going to be hydrogen plus oxygen gas. Remember this is hydrogen gas as well. Oxygen gas to form steam through water. So you can use either. The first reaction causes the production of steam, which is cooled down to form water in liquid state. So the next question is give a chemical test for liquid Y. So we have been taught to test the water that is being produced. So we said it can be tested in two ways. It can be a few drops are added to white anhydrous copper 2 sulfate. It is going to turn, which will turn it will turn to blue hydrated copper 2 sulfate. So that will help us to confirm that the liquid we have produced is water. Alternatively, we can use anhydrous. So we add a few drops, of liquid Y to anhydrous cobalt 2 chloride, which will turn to pink hydrated cobalt 2 chloride. So those are the two alternatives you can use for the test. Another question is this question, which was tested in 2017. The figure 3 below shows the apparatus used to burn hydrogen in air. Use it to answer the questions that follow. State the role of substance X, and the ice cold water. So substance X, if you look at the YouTube, you know it is going to be anhydrous calcium chloride. And anhydrous calcium chloride is used to dry the hydrogen gas. And then the next question is give the name of the substance. Before that, we didn't answer the ice cold water. The ice cold water is used to cool the products of burning hydrogen in air. The next question is give the name of the substance that could be used as X. We have answered that question. The substance that can be used as X will be anhydrous calcium chloride. And then C, state the role of the suction pump. So the suction pumps allows the hydrogen gas to flow through the apparatus. And finally, name the product Y formed. So the product Y formed we know is water. And a physical test to prove the identity of Y. Note that the test is physical, it's not chemical, as we would normally expect. So for us to test Y physically, we would heat Y to its boiling point. If it boils at 100 degrees Celsius, then it's water. So that brings us to the end of this topic of water and hydrogen. So see you in the next lesson as we start a whole new topic. See ya.